Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, July the 10th of 2023. So this will have covered the week of July the 3rd through the 9th of 2023. This was a reasonably productive week overall, making progress on several games, though no new platinum trophies this week, which is totally fine. So, as you can see, 4 games have popped up here on the list with trophy progress. So, the first one we can talk about is Power Wash Simulator. The SpongeBob SquarePants Special Pack is now 100% complete on both versions of the game. So, this is a very easy 100% completion because there's 6 new jobs and it takes about 3 to 4 hours to complete everything per DLC. So 3 to 4 hours for each of the 2 versions, so like 6 to 8 total hours to get both versions of the game back to 100%. As with the base game, I loved the DLC. I love Power Wash Simulator. So yeah, if you don't like Power Wash Simulator, you're probably not going to be looking forward to getting DLC with this. And I will say that the fact that this DLC cost $8 is kind of ridiculous. I think that's definitely way more than it should have cost, but I guess that if they're licensing SpongeBob stuff, then they probably need to recoup that somehow. But anyway, when it comes to the trophies, you're going to get 6 trophies here by completing your 6 new jobs. This one is Conch Street specifically. This one is SpongeBob's Pineapple, Squidward's Rock Statue House, Easter Island Head Statue, and Patrick's Rock, which you actually have to clean the inside of as well. This is one of the only 2 sort of longer, like really kind of long jobs in this DLC. And also, you can't do these out of order. You have to do these specifically in the order listed. As soon as you complete one, the next one unlocks. The Bikini Bottom bus is pretty quick and simple. It's just one of those big orange buses. The Krusty Krab job is the Krusty Krab and the Chum Bucket, the outside of each of them. This one is kind of longer, but it's not as long as Conch Street or the final job. Paddy Wagon's pretty short, and the Invisible Boatmobile is pretty short, though the Invisible Boatmobile is a little bit trickier just because it's invisible. So you have to wash the outside of it pretty much without any easy indication as to where everything is. They'll still sort of glow if you select certain parts from the pause menu from the checklist, but that's really about the only reasonable way to be able to get a few of the tougher to find parts on this one. And then finally there's the Mermalair. This one is a pretty long and intricate job because there's a lot of little things you have to clean. So it reminds me more of some of the late base game kind of ones that you had to do, because there are just a lot of real little things that you have to be able to clean. But overall, it's not anything too bad. There are also 4 miscellaneous trophies this time around, and for the most part, it's just completing something first. But in the case of Conch Street, it's completing something last. So I also like the references that we get here. We've got Naughty Nautical Neighbors, which was an early episode. Buses here is from the Rock Bottom episode. Employee of the Month is, well, that's something we've heard many times. Feast Your Eyes, I guess, is from the movie, specifically with the Paddy Wagon. This one is from one of the Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy episodes, the one where they get the conch signal and they take SpongeBob out for the day, and then Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy can't find the invisible boatmobile because it's supposed to be invisible, and SpongeBob had painted it or something. Maybe it was a different episode, actually, because it's whichever episode where they paint the invisible boatmobile. That's what it is. This one, Mermaid Man and Barnacle Boy Unite! That's from one of the early ones. Then, of course, we have this classic line about SpongeBob riding a boulder because the pioneers used to do it. But in this case, this is the only one that's a little bit more annoying just because it's the only one where you have to clean things last. So it's Patrick's rock, the hinge that holds his rock, like opens and closes it, and the actual underside of the rock. So you have to get all the stuff inside of Patrick's house before you do the actual rock structure. It's simple enough. This one you have to complete everything on the Chum Bucket first, which is only about like 35% of the job or something, so nothing too difficult there. Then the Paddy Wagon, the pickles are the wheels. Just clean those 4 first, and you get the classic "I've come for your pickle" line. It's kind of nice seeing some of these good old references. And then finally, in the Murmelayer, you just have to clean Patrick's identity card first. It's real small. It's on one of the tables. So for that one, you're probably going to want to mark it from your pause menu. And we, of course, get another classic line there. So lots of good references here. It's fun. It's all from, the first 3 seasons and the movie type of references. So it's done pretty well. If you like SpongeBob, you're going to like this. If you like Power Wash Simulator, you're going to like this. If you don't like either, then you're definitely not going to like this, especially with the fact that it, again, cost $8. And I'm curious to see if they've changed any of the trophies like they did previously, because I know they changed one of the trophies in here, so the washers haven't changed, equipping stuff hasn't changed, so completely clean the van using only the red nozzle, that's the same, the back garden's the same, playground's the same, bungalow's the same, detached house is the same, soulless shoe house, fire station, skate park, that's the same, so fire truck is the same, penny farthing is the same, treehouse is the same, fire helicopter is the same, carousel's the same, the gnome is the same. So yeah, this is the one that I believe is the only one that's changed description. It's more specific now because it specifically says which 3 things you have to clean. So hopefully this one is not bugged anymore like it was when I did the game. And then Helter Skelter's the same, Private Jet's the same, Monster Truck is the same, Ferris Wheel's the same, Subway Platform's the same, Ancient Statue's the same, Ancient Monument. So it looks like everything else is pretty much still the same, nothing else has changed, and all the star trophies are the same, this one's the same. Alright, so yeah, none of that other stuff has changed, so it's still just that one trophy that was fixed at one point because it was bugged initially, so thankfully it seems to be fixed now. And then we have the PS5 version, which is exactly the same thing. Like I said, it's, 3 to 4 hours per version of the game, so it's nothing much to worry about. Just as long as you enjoy power washing, you're not going to have a problem doing this DLC. And by the way, even though it does cost $8, it is cross-buy, so once you buy it, you'll have it for both the PS4 and PS5 version, so at least that's good. The next game I made progress on was Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 for the PS5. No campaign progress, but the co-op is completely done. So in terms of the trophies I still need to get, we have 6 more trophies that need to be earned in the single player, as well as, of course, the Platinum Trophy. So we have to reach the penthouse in El Sin Nombre. That's the one where you're sort of sneaking around the house and you have to get up to the penthouse to get whatever it is from the guy or kill the guy or whatever it was. I mean, I barely remember a lot of the campaign stuff in this game because it just wasn't interesting to me. Darkwater, this one shouldn't be awful. It's basically advancing over the entire top of the ship without touching the deck, but there was pretty much no way that was going to happen on Veteran. Same with this other one, it just wasn't worth going for on Veteran because I'm going to probably need guides for both of them. This one is going to be rather annoying, I can already tell, just because the vehicles kind of blow up a little bit more easily than maybe they should. Then, let's see, we have this one. This one's going to be kind of tough just because it's in that boss fight arena, so not looking forward to that one. This one shouldn't be that hard. It's on the whichever level you're on, like a oil rig, so that one shouldn't be too bad. And then this one is in the prison break. I don't know how hard that one's going to be. It's going to be another one where I probably have to look up a video for knowing how to do everything. So the main thing I finished, though, was all of the co-op Spec Ops stuff. So, Denied Area is the first mission that me and my partner did, and it wasn't too bad. We finished it on the... Well, no, we died, like, immediately on the first try just from not communicating very well or not paying attention. So then we just restarted it and beat it no problem. For 3 stars on this mission, you have to do it in 16 minutes, so it's not too terribly bad. We did it in, like, 14 minutes, so nothing too bad there. Then this one, Defender Mount Zaya, this one is purely defensive. Time doesn't matter, even though it still took us about 20 minutes. You just have to complete the mission without them planting more than 3 bombs. The very first bomb that you have to defuse before the waves start doesn't actually count against you. So just stop them from planting 3 bombs and it's not too bad. There's just a couple of trickier waves in there. And then Low Profile, the 3 stars actually wasn't all that hard because it's 15 minutes and you can do this one in like 10 to 11 minutes, so it's plenty of time. Now, one nice thing though is that on Denied Area and Low Profile, if you kill yourself after accomplishing one of the objectives, you will actually despawn all of the enemies, which is really, really nice. It makes life so much easier because then the enemies are gone, so you can quickly just run away or drive away and head off to the next objective. Now, your timer does continue through death, so it doesn't like reset back to where it was previously, but it's not that big a deal because the time limits are generous enough on both of these missions. Now, I will say, this was an experience just trying to be able to do this Spec Ops co-op stuff. It was not a fun experience at all because, as you guys know, I had a lot of trouble even just getting a co-op partner, and like the first couple people I had for it just backed out of the PSN Profiles game session before I could even, get in contact with them. Then I had one that joined and took up the spot, and then he just went and did it all on his own with some other random, so wasted my time and wasted my spot, so thanks for that. And then there was another guy who got into the group that he said he would be able to do all this stuff with me, but apparently some people can't read the whole please be in the US and be in a similar time zone, because he was in some time zone in Europe, so it was impossible to coordinate with him. So I don't understand why it's so difficult for people to follow basic instructions, but clearly it is. And then finally I got in contact with another guy through PSN Profiles, and we were able to knock out everything together. He actually got his Platinum Trophy when we got our final trophy together, so that was cool for him. He had finished everything else already. So the hardest trophy, and of course I already had this trophy done previously because it's simple enough, just earn 1 star, which you'll get along the way to the other trophies. This is the hardest trophy by far in Spec Ops because Low Profile is a stealth mission where you're basically running around having to snipe people and infiltrate buildings to collect like radioactive materials, and you have to do it without triggering any alarms. Now, the enemies can occasionally see you or hear you and like even go off to investigate just as long as no alarms go off. But this one took definitely over an hour for us to knock out. So let's see, we did that one at 9. So yeah, it took like an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes to knock this one out. So it was not a fun time. It took us a while to get a good strategy together, and even when we had a good strategy, sometimes we'd still just get screwed over by bad placement of enemies or bad placement of the radioactive things, or even just random enemies randomly hearing us at times when they didn't hear us on previous runs. So it was not a fun experience. Even with good communication, it was just a lot of RNG heaviness to it. It was not a fun time, but we did eventually get it. We used the Recon class with that pulse drone ability. That was really helpful. And we did it in the order of C, B, A, which a lot of people will go in the exact opposite of that, of A, B, C, because A is the one that has all the traps in it. But we ended up having better luck going for C first because we had less experience taking out C, because we usually would target it first. It's the one that has the Juggernaut and the group of like 5 enemies that patrols around it. So that was our order that we did it in. And then we finished off the intel, which was very simple. That only took about 20 minutes of just following a video guide and wandering around the low profile level and collecting the 20 intel. There's 20 on that one. There's 20 on the Denied Area mission, and there's 10 on Defender Mount Zaya. So plenty of options for that. Just low profile is the only one that really had guides for. And then, even with all of this, there will be a video coming out this week. It's about 45 minutes long. It's mostly edited. It's about 45 minutes long, and it will show unlocking all of these trophies and the experience I had with it. But guess what? Even that managed to go wrong, because literally everything I try to do with Modern Warfare 2 manages to go wrong. In this case, maybe it's because I was talking on the mic with my co-op partner or something. I don't know if that somehow messed things up, but it literally didn't pick up any of the audio from the actual game. I don't know why. It just randomly happened. I think it must have had something to do with talking to the guy on the mic, but for some stupid reason, it didn't even record any of the video game audio. So I have no idea why my capture card felt the need to do that. I have no idea why this game hates me so much and keeps trying to find ways to make my life miserable. But at least it will hopefully be done at the end of this week, because that video will go out this week, and then hopefully just one more stream to knock out the remaining 6 miscellaneous trophies. I might watch videos of all of them actually before I start the stream, just so I have some idea of what I'm doing. Would probably make sense. But hopefully that game will be done this week. I am not looking forward to ever doing the PS4 version, if I even decide to do it at this point, because it really did not have a good time with this, so I don't know yet. I probably will do it at some point, but I'm definitely not looking forward to it. And then finally, we have Tom Clancy's The Division 2, very, very close to that platinum and made some other progress. So at this point, all that's left for the platinum trophy is finishing all missions on hard difficulty or above. There's either 2 or 3 missions left. There's one that I'm not sure if it counted or not because I did it as the Black Tusk version only and haven't done it like as the standard non-invaded version. So I'm not sure if that one counted or not. I would think it did, but if for some reason the trophy doesn't unlock after finishing the other 2, I'll know what to go do. So that's all I have left. That shouldn't take too long to finish. And then the other trophies I did unlock, I managed to collect a suit of cards, which was a very boring grind because you can only get 1 card every half an hour and it's completely random. Now, there's no duplicates as far as I can tell because I haven't gotten any duplicates, at least not yet, and I haven't finished any of, and I've only finished one of the suits. But it still took about 40 cards in order to complete any one suit. And the maximum you would need is 49, so I definitely didn't get the best RNG with this. But I did finally knock it out, so I finished one suit, has all 13, and then I think one of them has 10, one of them has 11, and one of them has 8 or something like that. So I ended up having to get pretty close to that maximum number you'll need to grab. And then I also fully finished a specialization. I'm not sure if that was actually this week or last week. Let's see. Okay, no, that was this week. So the specialization, this one simply requires you to invest 165 specialization points into whichever of the 3 specializations you want. I did it with the crossbow because for whatever reason it was the first one I picked, and I really wish I picked the grenade launcher instead because I think one of its special abilities has to do with the turret, and that's one of the main abilities that I like to use. But hey, you know, it is what it is. Finish the trophy. It wasn't really that much of a problem. It's just grindy. You'll sometimes get points when you level up and get field proficiency kits. Sometimes you'll just get points by finishing missions on hard. So it's nothing difficult. It's just another really grindy trophy. That's what a lot of trophies in this game are, is that they're just grindy, plus the few multiplayer trophies you kind of have to boost. And I would also like to ask something about this. There's a settlement. It was the college, I think it was. And I've been running into a really weird bug where I can't do anything with it. Like, it's showing on the map that it's currently colored green and it has an objective marker over it. But whenever I go in, it always plays the intro cutscene, and then I can't do anything inside. Like, I can't interact with any merchants, and it keeps telling me to rebuild the area. It's called, I think it's called the castle or something. It keeps telling me to rebuild it. So I'll walk around and I'll find where it wants me to repair something water related. But it won't let me do it because a bunch of it's bombed out, like it's still in some kind of construction phase. So I don't know if I'm just missing something with that or if there's legitimately something bugged with all of that. And if anyone else has run into that problem, please let me know, because it's just really weird, because I feel like I'm missing out on some kind of content by not doing that. Unless it has something to do with the DLCs that I haven't finished yet. That's the only other thing I can think of. Of course, haven't even looked into the first raid, or the second raid for that matter. And I'm getting ready to start Warlords of New York. I'll probably start this one on the same stream where I'll end up getting the Platinum Trophy in this game, because I plan to stream the Platinum Trophy because it shouldn't take too long, just a few more missions on hard and that's it, which would then give me time to go ahead and do Warlords as well as finish off the DLC if I haven't finished it by then otherwise, like the other story DLCs. But like I've said before, I'm pretty sure it's just, 5 story-related trophies on the upper half of the list. The complete any mission with 1 directive, which shouldn't be too hard. The Manhunt with Aaron Keener. I think this is the actual final story-related trophy along with this. So 6 story trophies and 1 easy miscellaneous trophy and an easy miscellaneous trophy that I've already done. And then level 40 will just be a grind, shouldn't be too much of a problem. It's just this one. Again, I still don't understand what this trophy is, so hopefully it's not going to be anything insane. It's just confusing because there's not really a good description of it. I'm assuming it's not going to be too hard because challenge is 1 difficulty above hard, and hard really isn't all that hard. But otherwise, Coney Island has been done. I finished this one like a couple weeks ago. But I have now finished the Pentagon DLC. This one was a little bit tougher than I expected. It's 2 story missions and a short side mission. And it has a lot of boss fights in it and a couple of fairly tricky battles, especially the very end of the DARPA lab mission. That very final area, because the guy will launch mortars at you and he can heal himself to name the lead at the end of it. So, I mean, that one was a little bit harder than I expected, and it also took just a little bit longer, but it's still nothing too hard as to be expected. DC Outskirts is 2 completely different missions. The Camp White Oak is basically a continuation of the end of the main story, and this is actually a stronghold mission against, like, the leader of the Outcasts, I believe it was, that fled during the main story. So, yeah, that one I will knock out soon. Hopefully I'll have that one done, and then I can get the Platinum Trophy and start on Warlords of New York. And then all that'll be left will be the raids, which I'm probably just going to try to jump in and join a random, like, raiding group, at least for this one, because it's the easier one. Just jump in randomly on story and hope that it's not a full team, or that it will be a full team once I join in. Otherwise, I would need to look into boosting, or like finding a boosting group for it, and after the experiences I had with Modern Warfare 2, I really don't want to do that again right now. So let's go ahead and sync up our trophies. Alright, level 832, 5%, 26,182 total trophies, 726 platinums, 4,757 golds, 6,967 silvers, 13,732 bronzes. So, what are the plans for the upcoming weeks? Well, right now the plans for July are pretty much still the same. Finish Modern Warfare 2 PS5 version, which will hopefully be done by the end of this week, and finish the Division 2, which the Platinum will be done by the end of this week, and some of the DLC will be done. We'll just see how much of it I can finish. I doubt that I'm going to be through all of it by the end of this week, so it'll probably go into at least another week. And then I just have my random Gamefly games still sitting over here after like several weeks that I really just need to go ahead and do because it's a sub 5-hour Platinum. I really just need to stop wasting my time and money on not playing it and finishing it. And then in August, of course, you have GTA 5 if I decide to go back to it, Shadow of the Colossus, COD Classic, and Outer Worlds, as well as things like the Resident Evil 4 remake on PS4, which I will do at some point, Modern Warfare 2 on PS4, which if I do it, I'm not looking forward to it. I may also, I've been thinking more and more that I kind of want to do Resident Evil 6 on the PS4. I know it would have a lot of multiplayer boosting, but to be able to do like every numbered Resident Evil at some point, I think would be pretty cool. Because if I do that, and eventually do the other version of Resident Evil 4, then all I would have left in the numbered series is Resident Evil 0, which I own. I'm just not really looking forward to doing it. So Resident Evil 0, then Resident Evil 7's PS5 version, which I probably will do at some point. I just need to look into exactly which trophies auto-pop, because I know that not all of them do. I think as long as the 21 Survival Plus auto-pops, that's the one that I'm probably most worried about, because that was probably the most obnoxious, because the other one, the Ethan Must Die mode, it's annoying, but it's not quite as tedious. And then, along with that, there's of course Resident Evil Village, which I haven't done either version of, so not overly looking forward to that one, though. So those are some plans for the upcoming future. Also, Fallout 3's video went up on Sunday. That was a lot of fun to put together. It's a pretty long video, but I think it's one of my better trophy videos, so I hope that people will go check that out and enjoy it. So the next one after that is South Park: The Stick of Truth, which is going to be, of course, definitely a shorter video overall, because that game takes less than 15 hours. It can be done in under 10 hours, I believe, for Platinum. It can be beaten in like 7 if you skip all the cutscenes and stuff. So there's that. Then the next one after that is Ty the Tasmanian Tiger, and then Far Cry 6. And after Far Cry 6 will be Modern Warfare 2. And after Modern Warfare 2, I have no idea what the next one will be after that, because I haven't decided yet. We'll figure it out at some point. Someday it'll be Fallout New Vegas, possibly, even though it would have to be just come out as like a single video at the end, because Fallout stuff just doesn't really do all that well anymore on YouTube, except for maybe when Fallout 4's PS5 version comes out. That could be kind of fun to do. So that is going to be it for this video, guys. Please like, favorite, share, comment, subscribe, ring the bell if you haven't already. And in terms of content coming out this week, there should be several streams this week. Probably one for the end of Division 2, hopefully one for the Modern Warfare 2 Platinum, And of course, there's also Pikmin content, because it is the month of Pikmin, as I have dubbed it. Because this month is the release of Pikmin 4, a game that I've been waiting 10 years for and cannot wait to play, and will probably stream. I know it's a little bit different for the channel, I know it probably won't pull in as many viewers, but it's definitely more of a passion project that I'm looking forward to. In terms of Pikmin streams, though, there's Pikmin 2, which I don't think I would 100% on stream because it's the one I know the least and it's the hardest one and the longest one. Whereas with Pikmin 3, I can finish it fairly easily and fairly quickly, so Pikmin 3 would be 100% run like Pikmin 1 was, which only took one stream. It went fairly well. I mean, it was over 100 deaths, but only 12 days, so at least that part of it was on par for me. So yeah, that's sort of what to expect from streams upcoming, and otherwise, that's basically going to be it. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see y'all later this week for lots of content, hopefully a couple of platinum trophies.